Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Stephanie.
I am Tom.
Hey, it's our People unit. I love reading about people, learning about their lives, their successes, their failures, what made them successful. Today, we're going to spend some time on Jensen Huang. He's a very famous technology CEO. If you play video games or you have anything to do with, chips in games like that or really graphic-driven computers, you'll know about NVIDIA, a company that is really big. In fact, in June 2024, it actually passed other companies to become number one in market capitalization, meaning they are worth a lot, especially in stock. A lot of people are investing in them. We're going to talk about Jensen Huang, originally from Taiwan, who actually co-founded NVIDIA. So you could say he's quite successful and very rich.
He certainly is, and he's also the CEO, and we'll talk about him in today's lesson. So let's get to it. Let's explore wisdom and talk about Jensen Huang's memorable quotes.
In the artificial intelligence, AI revolution, Taiwan's technology leaders are capturing global attention. Among them, NVIDIA's co-founder and CEO, Jensen Huang, stands prominently. His journey from an immigrant to a technology giant is deeply inspiring. The innovative spirit and experiences of Huang shine through his impactful quotes, which offer lessons that go beyond technology. Reflecting on his humble beginnings, Huang once said, "You can't show me a task that's beneath me." During his early career, while working as a dishwasher and cleaning bathrooms, he learned the value of dedication. He believes that any current endeavor could lead to a significant breakthrough. His success is proof that every experience, no matter how modest, can be a stepping stone to greater achievements. Huang's understanding of dedication deepened during a trip to Japan. He encountered a gardener, carefully caring for a vast garden, and asked about the extensive work. The gardener responded, "I've cared for my garden for 25 years. I have plenty of time." This conversation profoundly influenced Huang, who later shared this wisdom in his commencement speech at the California Institute of Technology. He advised the graduates, "Find a craft that you want to dedicate your lifetime to perfecting." He emphasized that with such dedication, people would have ample time to achieve excellence. He also encouraged them to prioritize their daily tasks to advance their careers and positively contribute to others. Another commencement speech at National Taiwan University was also beneficial to attendees. Huang addressed the complexities of the current era, particularly regarding AI. He saw these challenges as opportunities and urged everyone to be prepared and proactive. His directive was clear: run, don't walk. Either you're running for food or you are running from becoming food. This message encourages us to actively engage in innovation and growth, and to constantly pursue the dreams we dare to create.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Again, we're exploring wisdom. We want to know what wisdom is all about with the example of Jensen Huang. And I think he was in Taiwan earlier this year. It attracted a lot of news attention. I remember seeing him on TV being interviewed by various people. And so we're going to talk about him because he's Taiwan's baby, and he's made a big impact in the world of AI, in the AI revolution with all those chips, and especially with his company, NVIDIA.
Now, when you talk about artificial intelligence, you're talking about computerized thinking. It's man-made. It's the ability for machines to continue learning. They kind of can teach themselves at this point. So that's AI. A revolution is a big change in something. It could be a revolution in a country where a government is overthrown and a new government is installed. Or if you're talking about a revolution in fashion, it could be when fashion changes dramatically. Wow, it's completely different from what it used to be. Here we're talking about technology and the big change that has happened in technology. Then now that we have AI, it's changing our whole world.
Right. We didn't hear the term AI that much like 2 or 3 years ago, but now it's all the rage. Everybody's talking about it, and everybody's kind of worried that it's going to take over our jobs. What are we going to do? How are we going to make money if AI takes over our jobs? But it is the wave of the future. There's no stopping it, so let's talk about it here. Of course, he's amongst Taiwan's technology leaders, and of course, he's capturing global attention. Everybody wants to learn more about the technology leaders of Taiwan. And among those technology leaders, we have NVIDIA's co-founder and CEO, Jensen Huang, and he stands prominently. Okay, prominent means it sticks out, it's very noticeable. Prominence, for example, is something that sticks out, like a large building or something, or a monument. And so here, prominent, in that particular case, means it is very important and you should notice it.
If someone is prominent, they're probably famous. They're well-known. They're important. Tom mentioned prominence. That's the noun form of prominent, which is an adjective, and prominently is the adverb form. You could say, oh, Messi came to prominence during his soccer career. People became aware of who he was. He became famous once he started playing soccer. So we've got 3 forms of that: prominent, adjective; prominence, the noun; and then prominently, which is the adverb. He stands prominently. You could also say he stands out because a lot of people are noticing him.
And his journey from an immigrant to a technology giant is deeply inspiring. Okay, some of these people, or most of these people who become famous, have a long story, and it's an interesting story. Maybe it's a rags to riches kind of story where he was poor and, worked himself up from the bottom and eventually became quite successful. So, yeah, it's very inspiring. It's worth listening to. We can learn a thing or two about his story. He began as an immigrant, which means he moved from one country to another, and then he became a technology giant. He's one of the top dogs in the world of artificial intelligence and technology.
He sure is. So the innovative spirit, innovative means you come up with something new, and his experiences all make Huang shine. So he stands out. People notice him through his impactful quotes. If something's impactful, it influences you. It kind of hits you, right? An impact is when something hits something else. So impactful quotes, things he says are his quotes. Those are his own words, quotes. If you quote someone, you use their exact words. You don't make something up. So he's got some impactful quotes we're going to be quoting today in the lesson. I think you'll really like it. Unlike a lot of these famous guys out there that are very wealthy today, Jensen Huang doesn't sound like a jerk. He sounds like he cares about people. A lot of people, once they get very famous and wealthy, they stop caring about the little people, and they just want to hang out with their social class of the elites. But Jensen Huang wants us to remember that we need to be helping each other.
Right, so he has these impactful quotes. I guess you could also call them influential quotes. Quotes are things that he said that everybody should learn about and can benefit from. Moving on now to the next paragraph, it says, reflecting on his humble beginnings, Huang once said, "You can't show me a task that's beneath me." So, of course, if you have humble beginnings, that means you probably were not very rich when you were young. Maybe you grew up on a farm or something, or your parents worked in a factory and you didn't have enough money, or you didn't have a lot of money when you were young. So those are humble beginnings. You're not like the child of a rich person or something. You had to earn everything. You had to work your way up. And so he learned something from this experience, and he was reflecting on it. Let me think about my childhood, my rough, kind of hard scrabble childhood. And he said, you can't show me a task that's beneath me. In other words, I'm not going to be a snob. Every job or every task out there is equally important.
You'll hear some people say, oh, I'm too good to work there, or I'm too good to do that kind of work.
Well, they'll never actually come out and say that, but basically that's what they mean.
Oh, they say that to their friends, Tom. Yeah. As they hang out. I used to perform in New York, and we'd finish a show, and my castmates would say, oh, I'm not going to get a part-time job. I'm just going to go and take government money as I wait for my new show to come around. I'm too good to work at McDonald's, or I'm too good to work in a restaurant and make tips. A lot of people think they're too good for it. I think work is great. And whatever we do to make a living is respectful and honorable, and it's good. And that's what he's saying. He's telling people in his own company, no one is too good to do whatever they need to do.
Exactly. It kind of makes me glad that I had all sorts of part-time jobs when I was growing up. I worked in a gas station. I delivered mail. I worked in another restaurant or something like that. So yes, indeed, I think that's what he's saying here. Yes, every task is important. No task is beneath me. And during his early career, while working as a dishwasher and cleaning bathrooms, he learned the value of dedication. So this is part of his early career. He worked as a dishwasher, which of course is a person who washes dishes in a restaurant. I've done that myself before. And he also cleaned bathrooms. I did that myself as well. When I worked at the gas station, we were required to clean out the bathrooms before we closed for the night. And because of these jobs, he learned the value of dedication. Dedication means you stick to something, you don't give up.
That's right. He believes that any current endeavor could lead to a significant breakthrough. An endeavor is just some sort of task that you take on. Sometimes we say, I hope your future endeavors are successful, which is just a nice wish for someone to be successful in the future. But an endeavor just means you're attempting to achieve something, some sort of goal. You can use endeavor as a verb as well. So what's a breakthrough? A breakthrough is when something happens that really changes things. So a breakthrough in technology would be a really important discovery that happens and it changes things. And that's where revolutions come from, right?
Yep.
If you're a performer and you work on stage, maybe you're a singer or a dancer, you don't say, I had a big breakthrough. You would say, I had a big break. Oh, I got my big break. I was cast in this movie. Or I got my big break. I have been hired to dance for Cloud. What's it called? Cloud Yunman, Cloudgate. Cloudgate, yeah. That would be a big break for someone who's a dancer. Breakthrough we use more for technology and science.
Like we're always hoping for a breakthrough in cancer research so we can cure cancer or whatever. And yes, indeed, he says that everything you're doing, every current endeavor could actually lead to something else. It could be a big breakthrough. And his success is proof that every experience, no matter how modest, can be a stepping stone to greater achievements. So don't think that job you have as a dishwasher or as an Uber delivery man, don't think that those kinds of jobs are dead-end jobs. They could actually lead to something else. And of course, it's like, going up the steps of a ladder, and eventually you'll get to the top and you will be the boss.
That's right. Someone who is always good at climbing the ladder to success is our Chinese teacher. We're going to listen now and then we'll be back.
Hello everyone, 我是派老师。今天讲解的是12月9号 Unit 5 Exploring Wisdom 这篇文章。这是一份篇章结构的练习题，介绍的是大家都相当熟悉的科技人物，尤其现在人工智慧当道，如果没有他们家公司所生产的 GPU， 那我们现在常常使用的 AI 这些工具可能都会停摆。大家知道我在说哪一位人物吗？没错，就是辉达的共同创办人兼执行长 Jensen Huang 黄仁勋。好，那我们一起来解题。不过在开始解题前，一样要跟大家强调，要记得先看一下4个选项哦。那要记得解题的时候有一个重点哦，就是回填的句子要和前后文连贯，概念要承先启后。请记住前后连贯，文意通顺这8字真言。好，那我们一起来看第一题。第一段第2个句子，前一句呢提到 在人工智慧 AI 革命当中，台湾的科技领袖吸引着全球目光，而空格后面的句子一开头就是 his journey， 代名词所有个 his， 英文的代名词在出现之前，前面一定要有个名词，后面我们才会用代名词来代替。所以要在选项里找到一个男性的他，而且呢，他必须要是科技界的领导者。虽然有4个选项全部都提到一个男性的人名，就是 Jensen Huang， 不过呢，只有 D 它出现了完整的名和姓。那一般而言，我们第一次提到一个人的时候呢，才会连名带姓的讲出来。而且呢，这里语义承先启后，提到在这些科技巨擘当中，辉达的共同创办人还有执行长黄仁勋是特别突出的，所以第一题正确答案我们选 D。 再来紧接着请看第2题，这是第2段一开头的句子。我们在第一段结尾的时候看到黄仁勋从移民到科技巨头的历程当中呢，其实非常的具有启发性。黄仁勋他创新的精神还有经历，透过他富有影响力所说的话呢，展现了出来。那这些金句提供我们超越科技的启发。我们看看后面的句子，他刚刚出社会工作的时候，在餐厅里面洗碗扫厕所，在这当中呢，他学到要用心做事这件事的价值。从前后文我们可以去推敲出来，作者开始用黄仁勋以前所说过的话来带出他想要表达的信念。所以呢，我们选 A reflecting on his humble beginnings 这个部分，这个选项。好，那所以这个的意思是说，回顾自己平凡的出身。黄仁勋曾经说过，我从不觉得哪一个工作对我而言呢是不值得我去做，太过于低贱。那这个选项文意前后连贯，所以第2题的选项正确答案呢应该是 A。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. It's our People Unit, and we're spending some time learning more about Jensen Huang. He's a co-founder of NVIDIA. He's also the current CEO. And because he's achieved a lot and he's a good example of hard work, and his rags to riches story is very, very admirable. It's inspiring, actually. He's been giving some commencement speeches. Those are speeches that you hear when you're having a graduation ceremony at your school. You could have a commencement address at a high school graduation. Usually you wait until high school to start the commencement speeches, but usually nowadays you'll hear them, of course, when someone's going to graduate from college or university. He came back even to Taiwan recently and gave a commencement speech. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we reflected on his humble beginnings. He said no task is beneath him. He's been willing to work hard his whole life. He started out very humble, very poor, and just kept working hard, harder and harder, I think, and he's now very, very successful. I was telling Tom, I read about him today, and he is somebody who's quite wealthy. He's worth $118 billion.
My goodness. Okay, hopefully someday he'll donate some of that money to poor people here in Taiwan as a way of thanking them for his modest beginnings. But let's move on now to the third paragraph. It says, Huang's understanding of dedication deepened during a trip to Japan. So he had a sense of dedication when he was washing dishes and cleaning bathrooms. And then he went to Japan and he came across or encountered a gardener carefully caring for a vast garden and asked about the extensive work. I don't know if Jensen Huang was able to speak fluent Japanese or if he talked through an interpreter or if the gardener himself spoke English, but in any case, he communicated with that gardener, and this gardener, a person who works in a garden, was caring for a vast garden. Vast just means huge, like space is vast. It takes billions of years to travel across the universe because it's so vast. And he asked the gardener about the extensive work. Yeah, how do you handle this big garden? Doesn't it wear you out? Doesn't it make you tired?
Yeah, you would think so, right? He's been doing it a long time. He said, he responded, this is the gardener. I have cared for my garden for 25 years. I have plenty of time. Remember, he encountered or ran into the gardener, and he wanted to ask him about his work. I think he must have been impressed by this beautiful, huge garden. That's what vast means, right? Really, really big. And the gardener said, hey, I've been doing it for 25 years. I have plenty of time to sit and chat with you.
Or plenty of time to care for the garden as well. So he knows the ins and outs of gardening, how to plant vegetables and how to weed the garden.
You get better over time, don't you?
Right, exactly. I don't really have much experience myself, but I always have to pull weeds out of our yard at the home I live in here.
Are you getting better at that, Tom?
I would like to think so. You always grab by the roots and try to pull the whole root out so it doesn't grow again. But in any case here, yes, he talked to that gardener, and the gardener said, well, I have cared for my garden for 25 years. I have plenty of time. And this conversation profoundly influenced Huang. It influenced him deeply. He later shared this wisdom in his commencement speech at the California Institute of Technology. There's quite a few of those institutes all over. There's MIT, of course, and I think there's one in New Jersey as well. And here's one in California. And they were having the graduation ceremony, so he gave a speech there. Commencement is the graduation ceremony.
So he advised the graduates. To advise somebody just means you give someone some advice, right? To advise is the verb form. Advice is the noun form. Notice the pronunciation is different, guys. He advised the graduates. The people graduating are called graduates. He said, hey, find a craft that you want to dedicate your lifetime to perfecting. So pick something you really love that you know you can spend doing over your lifetime that gets better and better and better, or that you are able to make better and better and better. To perfect something means you remove all of the imperfections or flaws, and you make something, maybe it's a product, you make that product almost flawless, or maybe it's a service, and you make that service the best in the world. That's what he's telling people to do. Pick something or find something that you really love, that you can dedicate yourself to.
Yep, and spend your lifetime perfecting it. And he emphasized, or he stressed, that with such dedication, people would have ample time to achieve excellence. So if you're dedicated to something, you will focus on that thing, and then you will have lots of time to actually achieve excellence. You'll get better and better as a result. And he also encouraged them to prioritize their daily tasks to advance their careers and positively contribute to others. We hear this a lot. If you want to organize yourself, you need to prioritize your daily tasks, which means you decide which things are more important and which things are less important. So if you prioritize something, you say which one is most important, and you spend most of your time on that one thing.
Now, here we're moving on to the final paragraph. It says another commencement speech was at NTU, National Taiwan University, or Tai-Da, as we say. It was also beneficial to attendees. An attendee is someone who attends something. Attendee. Now, if it's beneficial, it gives or brings good benefits or good things to you. It helps people. If it's a commencement speech, remember, that is a ceremony where degrees or diplomas are handed out to graduating students. And he was invited, which is really an honor, to come and speak to the graduates or those that were going to be graduating. Now, he addressed the complexities of the current era. The time we live on these days, guys, is really complicated, as you can probably tell. It's getting more and more complicated. We've got more things to figure out that's making life hard for a lot of people. A lot of the complexities or the difficulties that we're facing have to do with the job market changing, because we have now issues with AI. Artificial intelligence is making some things better and some things worse. So what did he find out, Tom? He said he saw these challenges as opportunities And what did he say?
Well, he urged everyone to be prepared and to be proactive. So if you urge someone, you just say that's what they should do. And yes, be prepared, do all your homework, and then you need to be proactive. Don't wait for people to come to you to offer the job. Go to them and be direct, and don't wait for others. And his directive was clear. His kind of a mode of operation here, his directive, he said, run, don't walk. Either you're running for food or you are running from becoming food. This sort of reminds me of, what's that, Jack, the Jack, Call of the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name?
Jack London.
Jack London, right. I think there's a quote, the rule of the jungle or the woods is eat or be eaten. So in this particular case, yes, you have to run for food because if you don't run, somebody's going to catch up with you and they're going to pass you and they'll get that food first.
That's right. So that was his directive. That was his instruction to all of them. Don't mess around. Don't just waste time playing video games. Get out there and get busy. This message encourages us to actively engage in innovation and growth and to constantly pursue the dreams we dare to create. If you pursue something, you chase after whatever you want. You can pursue a good-looking guy or girl if you're interested in dating them, or you can pursue a goal and achieve success that way.
Indeed. So that's all we have to say about Jensen Huang today. But of course, there's lots of other things to talk about concerning his life and times. And of course, all of you should feel proud that he actually is from Taiwan. I think he actually came from Tainan, but I guess they moved to Thailand when he was 5, and then he went all over the place. We don't have time to talk about that now, but thanks for listening. But first, we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher before we say goodbye.
接着第3题，请看第3段。那前面提到黄仁勋对用心做事的理解，在有一次呢，他去日本旅行当中变得更加深刻。他遇到了一位园丁，他照料有一大片的花园，他就问他关于这项繁重的工作。结果呢，园丁回答说，我已经照顾这个花园25年了，有的是时间。那后面呢，他讲到就是黄仁勋建议毕业生找一门自己想要投入毕生去精进的技艺。那这里呢，我们看到最好的选择应该是 B。This conversation profoundly influenced 黄这个句子。那这个选项，我们从当中看到前头 this conversation， 其实呢呼应了前面黄仁勋和园丁的对话，而 commencement speech， 也就是呢美国这些大学毕业典礼大人物所做的演说，呼应了后面一句的 graduates 毕业生。所以呢，第3题正确答案选 B。再来是第4题，那请同学看第4段。前面提到另一场在台大的毕业演讲，也让与会者受益匪浅。后一句呢，提到说他把这些挑战都看作机会，鼓励在场的人做好准备，积极认真。选项 C， Huang addressed the complexities of the current era, particularly regarding AI。那这边呢是指出黄仁勋谈到当今时代其实有相当的复杂性，特别呢是在人工智慧这方面。我们知道复杂性的议题当然是重大的挑战，所以这个选项可以开启后一句所讲的 challenges。因此第4题正确答案呢我们就选 C。 好，那以上呢是我们对这篇篇章结构练习题所做的中文讲解。老师希望同学多多练习，让自己呢对于答题的技巧更加的熟悉。以上是我们的解说 See you next time. Bye bye.
We're at the end of today's lesson and feel proud that Jensen Huang is a local boy from Taiwan here, and it's been a pleasure talking about him in today's program. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.